Hello and welcome to our latest episode of the Roar Report Recap. What do we have to talk about today, Mary?
Well, it was a big weekend.
Yeah.
It's probably the most exciting weekend of hockey that we've had here this season. So, yeah, I'm excited to talk about what happened between the Rock Lobsters and the Ice Cats. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
hit on what happened between the Moccasins and Columbus River Dragons. And the thing I think we should probably start off with is let's go over the playoffs because I
Mm-hmm.
think some people it can be confusing if this is your first year, which most of our fans are first year FPHL fans. So what is the setup of the playoffs? What
Mm-hmm.
um, there are rounds to this. Some people probably were confused why a cup was not brought out this past weekend. So please explain what exactly we are fighting for and what goes into it, how many different rounds there are, and such.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So the playoffs as a whole, teams are competing for what is called the Commissioner's Cup. So that's like just how the NHL has the Stanley Cup, the FPHL has the Commissioner's Cup, and the top four teams in each conference, or each division, I should say, sorry, Continental Division and the Empire Division, the top four teams from each make the playoffs. So at the moment, there are seven teams in each division. Bottom three just they don't get to participate. The top four in each division square off to try to advance to each successive round. So if you are the very first seed in your division, which in our case for the Continental it was the Athens Rock Lobsters, they would play the fourth seed, which would be the Pee Dee Ice Cats in this case. So the very first rounds for each division are best two of three. So whichever team in the series wins two of the three games, they advance on to the conference championship or the division championship for their side of the league. So in this case, we after last weekend we had Athens playing Pee Dee. Pee Dee won in two out of the three games. They advanced on to the championship, the conference championship, and then Monroe and Columbus played. Columbus defeated Monroe in three games, so they will be facing Pee Dee on the Continental side. On the Empire side of the league, Binghamton played the Topeka. I'm sorry, the Binghamton Black Bears played the Topeka Scarecrows, beat them in two games. They did not have to go to a third round game, and they will be advancing to play the Port Huron Prowlers, who defeated the Blue Ridge Bobcats in two out of three games. That also went to a three-game series, just like the Monroe and Columbus series in the Continental. So the the conference championship matchup on the Empire side will be the Binghamton Black Bears and the Port Huron Prowlers. And this is a interesting little side note there. It's kind of unique that on the Continental side, both of the lower seeds, Columbus was the third seed, Pee Dee was the fourth seed, will be facing off, and then both of the top seeds, Binghamton was the first seed in the Empire, and Port Huron was the second seed. They will be playing for the conference championship crown on their side of the league.
Okay. And so that leaves for another exciting week of hockey. Um, for us Ice Cat fans, it's a very quick turnaround. We play this Wednesday evening here in the Florence Center. Do you know what time that's going to be at?
Yes, that game will be at 7:15 p.m. It'll be a blue out. So we had a white out for last Saturday night's game. This Wednesday, wear blue. Blue shirt, blue jeans, whatever. You need to come prepared to be blue.
I really enjoyed the whiteout. So this
That was
past
fun.
weekend, we had a great turnout. So just so people know, we had 5,725 people attend the game against the Athens Rock Lobsters. And
Yep.
that is such a big deal. One, it made a new record for FPHL
Playoff
playoff
game.
attendance.
Yep.
And then some people are like, attendance, like, we just care about attendance across the whole FPHL. Like, I totally get that. But for people who live in the PD, like, it's really big to look at attendance here because it just shows that people have stuck around. This isn't just something that
Mm-hmm.
happened for a few games that we had a lot of people.
Right.
It's got longevity to it, and like that's what it's going to take to be successful here in the PD. We've just seen a lot of things not be successful.
Right.
Some things just get canceled before it even begins because not enough people here come out to support events, concerts, sports teams. And so it's a big deal to see these numbers. And I'm just so excited. The fans are super into it. It was so cool. I'm grateful that they had the rally towels because I just thought that that was a really fun touch. Everybody was getting into it. And it was a great night of hockey. I think that the energy in the building really probably helped the guys just understand how much we back them, how much we're excited for them. And I hope it gives them that extra boost just to know like we are so pumped. Like no matter what the outcome is, like this has just been awesome. I don't think anybody would have expected this first year Ice Cats team to have even made it through the first round of playoffs. So, what a cool thing.
Agreed. Agreed.
So, we played the top seed in the Continental Division of the FPHL. We played the Athens Rock Lobsters this past weekend. We talked last week about how we've played them so many times before. Go through this weekend. We went to Athens Ford Arena on Friday evening, and we saw what was the score?
The score in that game was 8-2, and honestly, through the first two periods, I thought it was anybody's game. I mean, it was Pee Dee would score, Athens would come right back, tie it up. Pee Dee would score, Athens would come right back. We had the lead going into the end of the second period, which was nice, but heading into the third, I was just honestly, I was not. I didn't really know what to expect because we've only beaten Athens 3 out of 15 games in the regular season, so you just don't really. I mean, you're expecting another hard fought game, playoff hockey, might go to overtime, like. That's just what I was prepared for. What I was not prepared for was for the Ice Cats to score 5 unanswered goals in the third period and absolutely demolish Athens in the third. So, I mean, 8-2 is that's dominant hockey against any team, but to do that on the road, wow,
You're not kidding.
incredible. So, very impressed with that. But everybody, it all comes back to the Florence Center Saturday night, and first thing I'm thinking is, okay, they're already down. They got their backs up against the wall. They are going to come out just ready to roll Saturday night. And what does Pee Dee do? First period, they roll out. They rattle off 3 unanswered goals. So at one point it's 3-1. Pee Dee or Athens finally gets on the board. They only manage one more score, and Pee Dee ends up rolling to another 7-2 victory. I mean, we can talk about Patrick Marcinkiewicz. Quite honestly, I feel like he should have gotten that goal that would have put us up 8-2. Grand scheme of things, it does not change the score. I hate that Patrick didn't get the goal. I really do feel like he should have gotten that. But
and we'll just go ahead and insert a clip in here of because you were
Yeah.
down by the ice.
Yeah,
And you got to actually
I got to
watch
see a
that.
lot of the goals, and that one was one that, oddly enough, I actually was able to. I stepped away for that particular goal, and it's funny. I just kind of I can just kind of sense when it's like, okay, this seems like a really good setup. It seems like they're about to score, and I just happened to pull my phone out. I was on the other side of the arena, but I zoomed in, and you can see right there, Welsh has the initial shot, passes it back. Patrick picks up the picks the puck up, catches McPhail out of position, and right in the net it goes. So, looks good. I don't really understand what the goaltending interference was. McPhail left the crease, which, if I understand the rules correctly, once he leaves the crease, then if he ends up making contact with somebody else, that's not goaltender interference. So, I mean, had it been a closer game, that would have been a deciding goal. I would have been a lot more upset.
Yeah.
I am not upset in the grand scheme of things. We got the win. I'm grateful for that. But, I'm going to pull for our guys and want them to get the best they can all the time. So,
I mean, overall, it was just one, Pee Dee was just a very impressive team, and two, Athens, the Rock Lobsters just seemed off. Like they did not play their usual at their usual strength, at their usual. I mean, now I'll say they did play a very physical game. I thought they played a physical game until I watched the Moccasins and River Dragons, but we'll talk about that later. So, go ahead and talk about some of the stats from this weekend. What did you see?
So this is interesting. We'll take a look at Friday's game first. First off, let me give credit to the 3 stars of the game. Alexander Legkov gets the first star for Friday's game. 1 goal, 4 assists. That's a 5-point game. Legkov just continues to impress me. He is just so fun to watch. And as young as he is, I mean, I hope we can hang on to this guy for as long as possible, but
Agreed.
I will completely understand when he inevitably gets called up to a higher league, he'll be one to watch. The sky's the limit for this dude. I just cannot wait to see where he goes. I'm a little... and Athens has done this before, even when they've lost. They put Philip Virgili as the second star, which is interesting considering that he got their 2 goals, so I guess that's why they put him there, but you typically don't put... you don't put your team, if you lose, you don't put your team, your players in the 3 stars, but so we don't have a second star who's an ice cat. So that's the only reason that I don't have an ice cat as a second star.
But kudos to Virgili for
Virgili, 2 goals.
I mean, 2 goals.
Absolutely, so. Yeah. No, nothing taken away from him at all whatsoever. It's just kind of, I do find that kind of quirky that Athens. This is the second time they've done that, but nonetheless, 3rd star goes to Brendan Colgan.
Oh, so deserved.
45 shots. 45 saves, 47 total shots faced in Friday's matchup. You go and I just want to make a quick aside here. So that was 47 shots on Friday. He goes back home to Pee Dee and faces his 44 shots on Saturday. If I'm doing my math right, that's 91 shots faced between the 2 games. He only allows 4 goals in. That is astounding. Great job from Colgan. He is the man of the playoffs.
That's really incredible that, I mean, he had 2 games back to back, and they put him in for the duration of that. Intense hockey. We're talking playoff hockey, and for him to be able to keep up and play so strong from minute 60 all the way down to all zeros, like he did a fantastic job. It's really impressive.
And just as a quick comparison, and again, nothing whatsoever against Athens players, but Pee Dee put 34. Let's see, which game is this? 34 shots on goal. No, I'm sorry, 44 shots on goal in 40. I am sorry, 41. I'm gonna get it right at some point. 41 shots on goal in Friday's game. 34 shots on goal in Saturday's game. So Pee Dee put fewer shots on goal than Athens did, but they got 15 goals out, like actual scores out of those attempts. So 41 plus 34 gives us 75. 75 shots versus 91 shots. 4 make it in for Athens. 15 make it in for Pee Dee. So, wow. And I mean, you could see out there during the games, like McPhail is a solid goalie, and he's out there making some really good saves. So a lot of times he just gets caught out of position, and I don't know if it was just Pee Dee's opportunistic offense. This crew has really, you can tell this crew has really started to gel. They are developing some very dangerous chemistry here, and when they get into the offensive zone and they start clicking, it is so fun to watch them pass and get the defense out of position and attempt to score. Um, it has. I mean, you could not ask for a better time for this to peak, obviously. Um, but great performances all around. Looking at the 3 stars for Saturday night. First star goes to Elijah Wilson. He is 1 goal shy of a hat trick, still finishes with 3 points, 2 goals, 1 assist. He is the first scorer to kick the party off on Saturday night. He gets the first goal. Rides that performance all the way through to a 3-point evening. Patrick Marcinkiewicz, again, he's up here talking about him again. 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points altogether. Marcinkiewicz, like I'm just gonna have to pause for a sec. Marcinkiewicz is I really don't feel like he gets the credit that he deserves.
Not at all.
He is, the fact that he is not talked about more within the league is, it's honestly, it's kind of sad. I mean, he tied for most goals on the season. He actually ended up playing 1 less game than the player who he tied with, so technically he had more goals per game. He continues to put up multiple point nights. The fact that I have not heard this guy's name mentioned more in the running for MVP is quite honestly not quite. I don't understand it.
And it's no shade to anybody else.
Of course not.
There have been a lot of great players, but we haven't heard as much. It is well deserved that he got this month's FPHL
Player of the
month.
Yes,
like,
absolutely. I'm so thankful he finally got that recognition. I mean, it's been a few months coming, but he finally got it. So very much deserved. 3rd star goes to Timur Razilov. We don't have any stats by. He didn't have any points last night, but let me just say I've got a soft spot for Timur. So Timur, you're my 3rd star. You're my 3rd star too. So happy that you got that
he gets out there and he plays hard, he plays smart.
He does.
And it's fun to watch. Everybody loves Timur. And all these guys are great. Like I sit here and I think, like, what's this team going to look like next year? I don't even want to think about that right now. But, it's just every single player is so impressive. We just really enjoy them on the ice. We enjoy them off the ice. And so, anyway, there we go. That's our weekend. So, anything else you want to talk about? I do have a question. Which player or plays stood out or impressed you from the Ice Cats or from the Rock Lobsters from this past weekend?
I think as far as players that really stood out, Colgan was obviously the very first. The man just he just locked down for the playoffs. You can tell that there's a reason that he has the resume that he has, that he has as many shutouts as he does, how he has as many, I forget, it's a ridiculous amount of minutes that he went in gameplay before he let a goal in. It is just like when we got Parker Rutherford as a goalie. Colgan was another steal for the Ice Cats.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew when I saw his stats and saw that he was coming here, like, I don't know how we keep landing these amazing goalies, but he is proving just how good of a player he is, and it's at just the right time. So knowing that you have that behind you as you're playing on the ice that's got to be a huge confidence boost for the rest of the team.
But you also have to remember, this is playoffs, and
Yep.
anything can happen. We saw that this weekend. Like, we have got, just because we had this amazing weekend, does not mean we can just sit by and ride, because we're coming up on a tough team, a very physical team, a very smart playing team. We just 2 weekends ago played them, and we came out pretty even. It was we went into overtime with both. We came out with 1 L and 1 win. So, we can't just ride on the high this past weekend. We have got to one, as players, and Just got to play smart. Remember that this team coming up, the River Dragons, like, they love the power play. They're good on the power play.
Yeah.
We can't give that up. And then, two, as fans, we have to remember we've got to show up. Wednesday night. This is our first Wednesday night game that we've had. There's a lot of things, things that could keep us from coming out, but we have got to come support these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And as we head into the series with Columbus, yes, we did have the 3-game series here in Florence where we swept them, but then we went to Columbus again a couple weeks ago, and it looked like we were about to do it again. We were out to a 6-2 lead, and I don't know, goodness knows what happened. We ended up dropping that game 7-6 in overtime, which just goes to show you and underscore the fact that you cannot ever, no matter what, and this is honestly one of the reasons why I was nervous even out of the last few minutes in the Athens games, like, you cannot ever count anybody out. And Columbus is one of those teams that when they will score quickly. They will rattle off 3 goals in a very short span of time. They might go for an entire period, maybe not make much noise. They catch you off guard at one segment, and it's lights out. Next thing you know, you're down 1, 2, 3 points. So Pee Dee has to maintain that same aggressive, rock-solid defense that we saw against Athens, that we have seen them play against other teams. That has to be present all 60 minutes against Columbus. And another thing against Columbus that they've got to be very careful about is penalty, being on the penalty kill. 2 of the goals that they gave up to Athens, actually both goals they gave up in the game on Friday, were on power play goals. If there's a team that will punish you on the power play, it is Columbus. They are the power play kings. You cannot allow yourself to get into dumb penalties. Stay away from, don't. And that's another thing, too, about Columbus, is that they have some players, I won't name names, I won't go into that, but they have some players who will try to get under your skin. They will try to cause you to commit penalties. And then Pee Dee just has to play the bigger man there. They can't feed into that. I say it as if like I'm able to like it's something that I can just regularly do out there on the ice. But that is a key. They've got to be able to look past that. They can't allow feed into that, because that's just, and for whatever reason, that is part of some teams' game plans. Get under their skin, send them to the box, and then get a power play goal. And that's one thing that Pee Dee is going to have to be very careful about. They'll have to stay disciplined if they get a lead. They can't surrender that. They have to always play. Got to always play like your hair's on fire. Just always go full tilt, and they have to stay out of the penalty box. That's really two of the keys that I see heading into the matchup.
Did you see from this past weekend? Seriously, at one point there were 4 moccasins in the penalty box.
Yep.
There was no room for them.
Yep.
It was the same on the Columbus side.
That was an ugly. That was an ugly game.
Pretty bad fight there. A series of fights, but yeah, we just gotta play smart and
play ice cat hockey, and don't give in to dumb penalties. Just play. If they play the same way they have against Athens and have that same mindset and mentality and aggression and discipline, you can't ask for more.
Yeah. Anything else about this upcoming weekend that you want to talk about?
I think we already talked about. We talked about the what Pee Dee has to be on the lookout for. And how Columbus will likely try to attack, try to catch them at a disadvantage. The thing that we've seen is that Pee Dee can beat this team. It is playoff hockey. You look at the regular season, and Pee Dee is definitely not on the right side of the winning column when it comes to playing Athens, and then here come the playoffs, and they absolutely smoke the Lobsters 2 games in a row. Sure, we've been pretty even with the River Dragons throughout the regular season, It's playoff hockey. You've got to play full tilt the whole 60 minutes. So, yeah, that's all I
think
have
it's
for
going to
this.
be an exciting week and weekend. You know, it's it's going to be some travel on them. You know, we have to remember, like, one, the River Dragons are coming in Wednesday. They're pretty beat up, man. They are pretty beat up, but our guys, they're tired too. You know, we only had 2 games. We didn't have 3, so you know that is to our advantage. But we do have to, you know, realize for you know, we have the advantage Wednesday night of being in our own barn, but the next games, it's a lot of travel. It's 6 hours. I mean, almost 6 hours to get to Columbus, and you know, if you just feel it in your heart to go, I did see that they're reserving out the section 104 in Columbus for Ice Cat fans, and you know, if you can make it out, if you have the time to go, like, it's a Saturday and then potentially Sunday game. So I'm sure they would appreciate that. They would appreciate the fans, the cheers, the love shown to them. But it's going to be a big weekend. I hope that, you know, all of you guys who are fans will show up and show out just like you did this past weekend.
Yep, absolutely. Please do. If we the fellas, that means more to the players than I think we realize. They feed off that energy. They feed off of that intensity that the fans bring, and you all have been bringing it. So let's bring it again this Wednesday. Just to recap, that game is at 7:15 at the Florence Center. First game in the series. It's a blue out, so we're blue everything. Let's try to have as many folks there as possible. I know Wednesdays that's a tougher day to attend, but if you can make it, please come on out. The next game in the series will be in Columbus on Saturday, so there will be a 2-day break there for travel and I guess just prep for the next game. That will be at 7:35 p.m. These are all Eastern Time. Columbus is still in the Eastern Time Zone. Barely, but they are. So that will be at the Columbus Civic Center on Saturday at 7:35 p.m. If necessary, Game 3 will also be in Columbus, and that will be at 6:05 p.m. on Sunday, April 26th. So that's the lineup as far as the dates for the games go, the dates and the times.
Remember, you can always order your tickets for this Wednesday night on Ticketmaster, or you can visit the box office at the Florence Center. They're going to be open, ready to have you, welcome you. You know, make sure to come out, though, if you can. Bring family, bring friends. This is seriously the most electric night of hockey that we went to was this past weekend, and I think we can bring that again. And I think that if somebody has never been to a hockey game, this is a fantastic time to come. No matter what happens, like, it's just the energy, the way that we feed off of each other, the community that we have. It's a lot of fun. So come on out.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Well, I think that's all for this episode. You all get ready, get your blue gear. We will see you at the Florence Center on Wednesday. And go Ice Cats!